Esto que van a ver a continuación es otra de las entrevistas que pude hacer en Gamer Kombat que gracias a la gente de la web que me permite subirlo ahora a último nivel VG, lo van a poder disfrutar en el canal. En esta ocasión habíamos hablado, gracias a la gente de Warner, con Andrew Stein, Senior Producer para NetherRealm en Mortal Kombat 1, así que espero que les guste la entrevista y ya saben, nos pueden dejar cualquier cosita en los comentarios.
Andrew, it's really nice to meet you. So
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Thank you very much.
What's your name?
My name is Francisco. We are from Gamer Kombat. I'm an Argentinian media from the city of Mendoza.
Okay.
And we are really glad to be here with you today.
Yeah.
So
Awesome to have you.
Thank you so much. So first, and a little bit to break the ice, maybe wanted to know which is your favorite game and the one that threw you in the video games world.
So, sorry, what was the last part of that question?
The one that threw you into the video games world, and you can say, hey, I want to work developing video games.
Yeah. So, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we always had, gaming was always huge. And, as a kid, I was literally gaming since I've been in diapers. I had a Magnavox Odyssey, I had an Atari 2600, ColecoVision, all the really old school stuff. And right there, gaming just spoke to me. It was mine. And like a lot of people, a lot of gamers back in that day, I was somewhat of a loner nerd. I didn't quite fit into all the different groups. So I found my people in my community through gaming. And it was always just a huge comfort. When I got out of the military, so I was a combat medic in the U.S. Army. When I got out of the military, I realized something, that I was young enough to take the risk to try to chase a dream, which was making video games. So I went out, to a bunch of developers in the Bay Area and started seeking ways to get in there. And I was fortunate enough to join Sony Computer Entertainment of America as a tester. And that was, 24 years ago when I did that. And pretty much the rest is history. Favorite game of all time, honestly, I couldn't. I love so many games that I've been gaming for so long. I don't want to do a disservice to all of my favorites. The ones that jump out that have always been close to my heart, obviously Mortal Kombat has been there. I love the Civilization games. I love a lot of the Bethesda games, Morrowind, Skyrim, and now Starfield. Really like those games. The early Blizzard stuff always spoke to me. So,
well, it was going to be something like to finish the interview, but since you say it right now, Mortal Kombat was an important part of you growing up as a gamer and growing up in life.
Absolutely.
So,
I still remember in 1992, the very first, 92, late 92, the very first arcade to come to our town. I saw it getting wheeled into the arcade. They plugged it in and booted it up. My quarter was the first one in there. And I immediately started a love affair. And when I got the job at NetherRealm back in 2012, I went to Ed Boon and I said, hey, I'm really glad I got the job here so I can start earning back all those quarters I put into your machine. So, it's been a dream, job since day one. And I'm blessed every day that I have it.
Okay, that's great. And now moving toward maybe the issues part of development. Can you tell us, you're a senior producer at NetherRealm right now, can you tell us what your role consists of in NetherRealm?
Yeah, so I originally started as a Cortec producer. Cortec is our engine team, so I started working with them. Then I spent about 6 years in the design department, working with Ed, the designers, and all the other disciplines, to execute on their vision. And then about 4 years ago, I transitioned into live operations, and that's has everything to do with once the game is done and ships, dealing with submissions into Sony and Microsoft, and dealing with customer service, as well as getting all the content lined up and out the door once the game is done. Excuse me. So all of our combat packs and our DLC characters. So super fun. I like it because every day is interesting.
And which would you say that it's like your favorite and least favorite of characters of Mortal Kombat, and which one would you love to see in the future coming up to the franchise? It doesn't have to be like a previous legacy Mortal Kombat character. It could be like from anywhere.
Yeah. So my favorite character in Mortal Kombat 1 right now is Li Mei. I think she just, she was beautifully executed both in her the artistic approach as well as the fight style. It's so elegant yet brutal at the same time. It just really speaks to me. I love how fluid the motions are, and just how everything pops with this grace yet precision at the same time. It's really interesting. My all-time favorite character though is Sub-Zero. That's always close to my heart. My icy cold heart and his icy cold heart. He's always the guy I used to love. On the original arcade game, making friends do the Sub-Zero slide. So it was always awesome.
Yeah, I think that it's something like super special between Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and for me it was also Reptile. It's like a Triforce Mortal Kombat characters. Those three, but it's like if you think of Mortal Kombat, you'll surely think of Reptile, Sub-Zero, or Scorpion.
Who's your favorite character?
I think that I would say Reptile.
Reptile?
Yeah.
Very nice.
It was like when I was growing up, my first Mortal Kombat game was Mortal Kombat 3, and I didn't get to play it, but it was within like local video game shows. We had one that was called Nivel. That was awesome. It was the only thing that we got, and you could say from previous installments, and then from tape titles that came after. That's Reptile, and it was like, this one is different, this one can do things that the others, none of the others can. So
what do you think about Mortal Kombat 1's version of Reptile?
I loved it. I loved it, and the change between his original Reptile form and how he blends with the humans, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's great to hear. That always tickles us when we get positive feedback like that.
Yeah, I think that you guys did an excellent job with Mortal Kombat 1. From the design's perspective, it's a beautiful game. It's beautifully executed. It's like you said with it's super fluid to play. It's fun to play.
Yeah, our team just absolutely crushed it. This is by far and away our most beautiful title from our direction standpoint and how the team executed. I think it's just so beautifully done.
Yes, it happened to me when I was doing the review for the game. That for circumstances that happened in life, I had to play it in 1080p display with an Xbox Series X, but in 1080p. And after the review, I got the chance to play it on 4K as it was meant to. And I was amazed of the colors and how beautiful it looked. So it led me to another question that you always have to make concessions when you're making a game, and some things are left behind halfway. Which would you say that it's that one thing that was left behind that you all guys would have loved to see it on the final product?
Yeah, I mean that kind of cuts to one of our biggest challenges, which is when we say we're going to make a new game and it's Mortal Kombat, we have such a deep roster that we're always leaving something behind, right? Because it's just not feasible production-wise to do 70-plus character roster, right? So we have to figure out, okay, who's going to be in the game? What cast of characters are we going to have? So we're always leaving a lot behind, but it's just not possible to say we're going to do 70 characters. As much as we would love to, it would probably take 15 years to do that. So we always have to make those tough calls of tearing down, the long story roster that we have to choose from, and put that out there. This time on Mortal Kombat 1, we were able to dip back into some of the other ones, some of the Deadly Alliance, the 3D age characters, and bring them to life in a new way in this one. So I think the team has done an amazing job with that.
I really loved how you, let's not spoil the game of course, but in the final part that you actually managed to get more variety of characters.
Oh yeah.
And it was amazing. But, and this was, I think that the only low point that I can think of the game. I was waiting the whole time of hearing the classic Mortal Kombat music from the movie with the big loud screen, Mortal Kombat, and then the music. I think that would be the only thing I would say. This is epic, and now it would have been more epic.
Yeah.
But really love that part on how you managed to get more characters on screen.
Yeah. It was quite the technical challenge, you know, and you know, our core tech team did an amazing job getting the engine up and running and being able to support that. It was a decision we made pretty early that we wanted to go in that direction with the cameo system. So we knew it was going to be a requirement. So yeah, our tech teams and our design and art teams worked very closely to make sure that we could get the most out of the art and the design aspects. And our core art and design teams did a really fantastic job. You know, and they're the best in the industry as far as I'm concerned in this area. So you know, we are absolutely spoiled to have those teams.
Okay, great. And I have a couple more questions. I don't know how are we doing with the time.
We're good.
Oh, okay, thank you. So, how would you describe it was the process of creating new fatalities? Because you always have to be thinking of something new. You maybe have something from the start, but
yeah, and that also is a pretty big challenge because think of Scorpion, right?
Yeah.
How many different ways has he, you know, torn someone apart, right? And you're like, okay, we need something new, but it has to be within this lane of something that Scorpion would do. As the years go on, it gets harder and harder to really come up with that. But you know, our teams again did a really good job. You know, the process of fatalities is, you know, we start with just a big idea, and then as it goes through the mocap sessions, as it goes through the cinematics work, you know, it changes a lot. It's very rare for an initial idea to make it all the way through that pipeline unscathed. There's always concessions and choices that we have to make. We're like, you know what, we decided we cut it here, but we move it up a couple of feet where we'll be able to do this and not have to encounter this giant problem. But we don't have an elegant solution to do that. So one of the ideas is maybe we change it up a little bit, and that happens on almost every single fatality.
yeah, that's awesome. And so, just one question. So now that it's been almost a month since the release of Mortal Kombat 1. How are you feeling today? Looking to the past. I mean, it must have been crazy prior to the release.
You mean beyond just being tired? No, it's great. The feedback from the community has been, you know, extremely positive. We've gotten a lot of constructive feedback from the community as well that we're acting on, you know, in patches and future content updates. So, you know, it's, you know, we're humbled by, you know, just how, you know, just passionate the gaming community is and how they've embraced this new game. And a lot of the positive, you know, feedback we've received is, you know, we're you know, extremely fortunate to have an amazing, you know, gaming community out there who loves Mortal Kombat and is super passionate about it. And, you know, it's a dream come true to actually work on the game and put it out. And then here at this show, we're talking to a bunch of the gamers from Argentina. This is our first time down here. And they're blown away that we came. And I'm blown away by their passion and how into Mortal Kombat they are. And it's humbling. It's humbling to see that passion. But, you know, there's a reason we come, because people care. And we care too. So it's great to talk to the gamers. It's great to talk to the community. You know, I think FK1 is going great. I think its future is incredibly bright. We got a lot of, you know, content planned. We've already announced our first Kombat Pack, you know, Kombat Pack 1. You know, it's going to be 6 characters there, including Homelander from The Boys, and then we got Omni-Man, and we got Peacemaker. I mean, we got John Cena. We got John frickin' Cena in the game. Come on, dude.
I mean, I know that it's going to be wild because having Homelander, you know that the fatalities are going, they have to be gruesome. Would you say that it's going to be even worse than what you already have for the initial roster? Or it's kind of on the same level?
I would question the term worse,
Better, worse in the good way. More brutal, more gory, more bloody.
I think the fatalities will be on par for the character.
Okay.
And I think they're going to be pure Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
So, I know the gaming public, including yourself, are super eager to see that stuff. By the way, today we did drop our first look at Omni-Man YouTube video, so that's out there on social media. So if you want to see extra, you can see that too. So Omni-Man's out there now. He's you can see some content.
Yeah.
You can get some eyes on, kind of where our head is with those guest characters.
Okay, I'm definitely going to check it because we woke up early today and get here. So I will do that as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, thank you so much for
my pleasure.
the time. It was really awesome. And if you could send some hi to the people from Denver Community, it would be really appreciated. It's like,
Hey, Gamer Kombat people, go out and buy Mortal Kombat 1.
okay, Andrew, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
It was amazing. Thank you.